How we doing?
You're the last one. Almost done. Okay, guys, we're starting. It's recording.
Chaim, everyone. First of all, I want to give yourselves a huge round of applause. You guys, wow. There are some hardcore Tshuva Kol HaKavod. So I already came to tell you, everybody that's here from the morning has an all clear pass. Get a jail free card. Hashem has already gotten you all off the hook. You're good. You're fine. You already have a chasima tova. You guys are good. Those guys that only came half a day, you have to work a little bit. But kol hakavod, guys. Wow. I was wondering I was going to come at. Told me you're going to wrap things up at 9 o'clock. So it's probably going to be like 2.5 people thrown on the floor and sleeping bags or opening up tents. Okay. Baruch Hashem. So thanks for having me back. How's it going? New? 2 days before Yom Kippur. How's Rosh Hashanah? 10. Cosmic.
I went to Douglas.
Very, very big deal. It's dope. So I figured I saw the list of incredible speakers you had all day. Everyone, what more could you possibly learn about Tshuva and Yom Kippur? And I figured, you know what? Rabbi Judy asked me, why don't you bring the guitar, sing some songs, and kind of wind down. It's been intense, right? You guys remember way back we started Rosh Chodesh Elul? Very intense. The king was in the field. What's that? A few years ago. It's a very, very big deal. So, and it's not Shemitah anymore. And we're getting ready for a very, 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 very incredible year. Now, every year, there's a different change in the letters. Every year is a number. 5783 is a Tafshin Bey Gimel. What? It's a prime number? Okay. Very interesting. It's good. It's good. Prime is good. Yeah. L'chaim for prime number. Can't be divided. That's right. And so somebody was also saying it's also the Rishayt with Pei Gimel, Pritzat Gvul, Pritzat Gader. Yeah, that this year Pritzat Gader is like break free, go beyond, yeah, what was the boundaries and limitations that were used. So Bezrat Hashem, God willing, this year Tafshin Pei Gimel should be a year of Pritzat Gader, where everybody mamish has incredible breakthrough, and mamish goes beyond all of the limitations. You know, people used to think. They say when Mashiach comes, what will Mashiach? What will be different when Mashiach comes? Right, we're getting ready for Geula, right? We got to get ready for Geula. We got to get Geula minded here. And so people think when Mashiach comes, what will happen? Peace in the world. That's right. And what? And Shem will be one. Very spiritual. What? No more Yetzirah. Even only for the men. You know, obviously we don't have Yetzirah. So. That's right. So if you ask a child, what will happen when Mashiach will come? What will the child tell? Candy will grow on trees, right? Right? All natural, no additives, all natural. And so basically, if you ask just every kind of, you know, Ploni Almoni, every Joe Schmo off the street, so what will happen when Mashiach comes? They'll say Mashiach will make our dreams come true. Finally, we will be able to manifest and to actualize all of our dreams and our hopes and our aspirations. And yeah, and then because of Mashiach, we will be able to actualize all of these things. And that sounds very beautiful, except that's not Mashiach. And in fact, you don't even actually need Mashiach to actualize all of your dreams and your aspirations. All you need is like one Saudi sheikh. Yeah? No, sheikh. Sorry, in Hebrew say sheikh. In English you say a sheikh. Just give me one Saudi sheikh to deposit $1 million into my bank account every single month. I will make sure all my dreams and aspirations come true. Right? I don't need Mashiach to make my hopes and my dreams and aspirations come true. That's not what Mashiach is going to come to do. Right? Yeah. I can get a Saudi sheikh before it. Even now we see incredible miracles happening that never before could we think that the Jewish people would be able to have relationships with our Arab neighbors and cousins. That's not even Mashiach. So a lot of people think Mashiach will make our dreams come true, and that's not what Mashiach is. Mashiach is not going to make our dreams come true. But Mashiach will give us all new dreams to dream about.
Wow.
Mashiach will come to bring us all new aspirations and all new dreams that I never even dreamt in my wildest dreams to dream. We all have dreams, and we all have hopes, and we all have aspirations. But there's a ceiling to those hopes. There's a ceiling to those dreams. There's so much that I can imagine what is possible for my life, for my family, for the Jewish people, for the world. And so that ceiling is really limiting us. That's the kabul, that's the gader, that's what we would call a Mitzrayim de Kedusha. Very interesting concept called Mitzrayim de Kedusha. I'm sure everybody's familiar with Mitzrayim, that we're all familiar with, that it represents the limits and boundaries, it's a haram, animal soul, the ego. But there's this idea called a Mitzrayim of holiness. The Mitzrayim of holiness is the limitation and the rule and boundaries of even the good that I can imagine that's possible. Sometimes we are limiting ourselves. Mashiach comes. Mashiach is going to actually give all new dreams. So this year should be there, Tafshin Pei Gimel Pritzat Gader, that every one of us should manage to break free from all of the boundaries and limitations that we have put ourselves under, or whatever limitations we are in, and have an incredible new year. So there was once a Polish innkeeper, very simple man, not learned, but he's a very pious man, very pious Jew. And every year before Yom Kippur, everybody knows that there is the minhag of kaparot. Yes? It's take the chicken, wave it around your head without getting into politics and animal rights issues and whatnot. Leave the activism at the door here. Suspend your ideologies with it. But it's a very, very old and ancient tradition that Jews have been doing. That we take the chicken and we do kaparot. And one year, some Hasidim came to their Rebbe, I think it was the Eli Melech of Bizantz, and they said to the Eligim, to the Noam Eli Melech, they said, we want to see just one time, we want to see you doing your kaparot. Mamish, such a holy work, we want to see the kavanah that you have, the intention when you're doing this ritual. He says, my kaparot, it's nothing to write home about. Really want to see some kaparot. Go check out this innkeeper. He's got some major kaparot. Hasidim were like, wow, who is this? He must be like a total tzaddik nistar. He must be like a hidden tzaddik. We have to go check this guy out. So they found out which inn he was the keeper of, and it was Erev Yom Kippur. And the inn is filled with all kinds of people and smoke, and you can imagine what a Polish bar looks like, back in the day. At about midnight, the Jewish innkeeper rings his little bell and says, all right, that's it, finished. Party's over, my friends. We're closing shop. Everybody's got to go. And so he starts, getting all of these drunk Poles out into the street, get them out of their inn. He manages to clear out the place. He opens the windows, airs it out. And when everything is settled and quiet, he sits down in the middle of the restaurant there. He calls his wife, says, my dear wife, bring me the notebook. And so his wife goes into a particular room of the house, opens up a drawer, and she pulls out a notebook. She comes up and she gives her husband this notebook. He opens up the notebook and he starts reading, Ribono shel olam, master of the world, master of the world. On this day, I did not make the proper blessings after this particular food, on this day, I did this, and this day I did this, and the entire notebook was filled with aveiros, with transgressions that this person had done the entire year. Erev Yom Kippur, got to come clean. So he's going back over all of the things that he did that were not right, and he's weeping and he's crying and he's mamish from the bottom of his heart. He's seeing all of these things, and how can he possibly do this against God? He gets to the end of the notebook, recalling all of the aveiros and the transgressions of things that he did, closes the book. He calls to his wife and he says, my dear wife, bring me the other notebook. So she goes to the room, closet, opens up the drawer, brings him another notebook. This notebook he opens up, and it says, Ribono shel olam, master of the world, on this day, my cow died. Ribono shel olam, on this day, my son got sick. On this day, this calamity befalled me, and on this day, this calamity befalled me, and I got robbed on this day, and he's going over all of the things that he suffered all year long. He says, Ribono shel olam. He says, I was not okay last year. But you too were not okay last year. I swore last year to do Tshuva, and here are all of my averes that I did nonetheless. And you promised to bless me with the gebench year, with a blessed year, and here, Baruch Shalom, you see all of these things that you did not uphold your part of the deal. So you know what Ribono Shalom says, Master of the world, this is what I did, this is what you did. Let's call it even. He takes the two notebooks together and he holds them over his head and says, this is kaparati, this is khalifati, this is the Noam Elimelech said, ooh, it's a major kaparot. It's a major kaparot. Chaim. So my friends, I think we can say we're done with the Tshuva. Can we say we're done with the Tshuva? No? You guys want to keep doing the Tshuva? Come on, no. It's fire and brimstone, Rabbi. Come on, that's what we paid good money for. Scared the Jesus out of me. Come on. No? We like the Yira, huh? You know, also like the Yira? Reb Zusha. No, Reb Zusha? No, Elimelech's brother, Reb Zusha. Reb Zusha was mamish, such a Yiridic Jew. Mamish loved serving God from Yira. When he started, he would learn Gemara. When the Alter Rebbe came to Medrash and came to Bruta, they started learning together. Reb Zusha was more into the Hasidus and climbers, into learning the deep mystical secrets of the Torah. The Alter Rebbe, when he came, he was a brilliant scholar, but he was very, they called him the Litvak. He was the Litvak of the bunch. Very straight, and come on, what is this? When he first came, when Alter Rebbe first came to Medrash, he saw things, he thought it was mamish a zoo. It looked like Ummah. It was crazy. He saw people in the middle of the night, they're davening and they got tefillin on their head and they're rolling around in circles and somersaults on the ground. He's like, what is this? Crazy. It took him a long time to kind of understand what was going on there. And he's like, and he's waiting for the Torah. He's waiting, where's give me some Gemara, give me some Malacha, give me some. He's the Litvak. Zusha, woo-hoo. He was a 100% certified Tzfat. Zusha, in Dveikus, Zusha was so connected. Everybody knows that a Hasidic discourse begins usually with a verse from Torah or a verse from Mishnah or Gemara. Usually that's the basis for the discourse, and then the master starts to open up all of the secrets and to bring down all of the divine secret wisdom that they want to. And it's kind of jumping off of the verses. Zusha was so connected that as soon as his Rebbe, the Maggid of Medrash, would just say the very first line, yeah? Atem nitzavim hayom. Zusha already began to feel the divine light and energy that was opening up, that was about to come down through the discourse that Maggid of Medrash was about to do. And he would literally start to gasp and moan in divine ecstasy. Oh! And the Maggid didn't even really start speaking. He just said one line or two lines, and Zusha, ooh. And it was kind of annoying, actually. It's kind of annoying. I mean, can you imagine, you're all day long, right? Now you have a speaker here, giving a talk, and all of a sudden, right, my mother, bless her, love it! Yeah? It's kind of annoying, right? You're like, trying to listen, right? Zusha couldn't control himself. It was literally uncontrollable. He was so connected to his divine soul that as soon as that the energy started to fill the room, he could feel it, and it was vocal, very vocal. And the people sitting around the table were like, Zusha, come on, you're being a nutnik now. We want to listen. You're interrupting the Rebbe. We can't hear. And it literally got to a point where he was like so uncontrollably just in such divine ecstasy that they literally had to take him and they had to like throw him outside of the yeshiva. Yeah, and they would lock him out. And the entire class, literally Zusha is walking outside. "Ah!" That's why he never became a Rebbe. It says he never became a Rebbe. Why did he ever become a Rebbe? He never became a Rebbe because he actually never learned anything. He just got like straight to like the nucleus, to the core of the kedusha, of the divine energy that was being brought down to the yeshiva, but he actually never like heard the discourse. So he never became a Rebbe. His brother, Noam Elimelech, he became a big Rebbe. Many of the Hasidic groups that you see today come from the Elimelech of Lujans. Rebbe Mamish was off the charts. He Mamish loved serving God. You loved it. He was learning with the Balatan. He says, all right, look, teach me some Torah. So she's like, I don't know any Torah. Teach me some Torah. So the Alter was like, okay, fine, let's start. Where can we learn? Let's start from the beginning. So everybody knows that the first Mishnah in the Talmud, the 6 orders of Mishnah, begins with the laws of the Shema, the time to begin to say the evening Shema, right? That we know that there's 2 mitzvahs out of the 650 mitzvahs. One's to say the Shema Yisrael in the morning, and once in the evening, the Shofar. And so the Mishnah begins by saying, May matai korim et Shema ba'arvi, right? May matai. What does May matai mean? From when do we begin to say? And then the Mishnah begins to say, from the time Kohanim are allowed to eat from their food, and it's basically talking about when the stars after dusk. But when the Zusha would start to learn this Mishnah with the Alter Rebbe would start to learn May matai. And Zusha would start to say, oh, May Mosai, May Mosai, May Mosai. He didn't read it, Me'ei Matai. Me'ei Matai can be read from where, or you can also read it, Me'ei Mati. Me'ei Mati is from Ma'ema, Ema v'fach. Ema is terror. It's another word for Yira. And so Zusha didn't learn the Mishnah as is saying the time when we're supposed to say Shema. He's saying how we're supposed to say. How are you supposed to? Me'emosi korin l'shma. From my terror, in a state of terror and awe and yira, that's when you say the Shema. Only when you're in a state of ema. He loved Mamish being in yira, fire and brimstone. Oh yeah. One time, I'm sure here everybody knows, it's a very famous story, where he davened and he asked Hashem to be able to have the yirat shemayim of the Rambam. The Rambam, Moshe ben Maimon. Mi Moshe ad Moshe lokam ke Moshe. It's the Rambam. To be able to take the entire Torah, all of the mitzvahs, everything, and to condense it into one book. No small feat. The Rambam, completely different. And so Zusha wanted God to give him the Yirat Shemayim of the Rambam. And he would daven and daven and daven. Please, I want the Yirat of the Rambam. Until one day, Hashem granted Zusha the Yirat Shemayim. When that level of awe and yira, fear, entered into Zusha's mind and heart, do you know what happened?
Went under the table.
He hid under the table. And he refused to come out for 3 days. Can you imagine a grown man, a rabbi no less, hiding under the little in fetal position? Please, take away from me the Yirat Shemayim of the Rambam. Can't handle it. until finally Hashem took from him the Yerushalayim, he was able to come out of the table. But we see that Zu Shemamish like the Yerushalayim. So I can appreciate the fact that you like doing Tshuva all the time. And in a sense, you're right. We always have to be doing Tshuva. There's Tshuva and then there's Tshuva. There's Tshuva and then there's Tshuva. I think we spoke about lower Tshuva and higher Tshuva. And lower Tshuva, I have no doubt in my mind, every single person in this room has already done the Tshuva necessary for Hashem to forgive everything that anybody here has done or thinks they have done over the past year. I have no doubt in my mind. Does anybody think they have not asked enough forgiveness from God in the last month and a half? No? Yeah.
Thank you.
What's that? Yeah. So I'm here to tell you, as God's spokesperson, stop it. No, that type of tshuva is not the type of tshuva that we need to focus on for Yom Kippur. What is the type of tshuva that we need to focus on? So the Alter Rebbe brings that the entire day of Yom Kippur is a day of incredible closeness and intimate connection with the averas, the transgressions, the negative thoughts that I thought and things that I said and I've done. Those all took me away from Hashem. But on Yom Kippur, every single Jew now is able to enter into the innermost chambers of the King. And in Yom Kippur, we are all in the deepest, most intimate relationship with the King, whether you believe that or not. But the Alter Rebbe says that the real tshuva that we need to be doing is to come from a place of what is called back to back to a place of face to face. These are two very fundamental Kabbalistic concepts. Back to back or face to face. What does it mean to be in a relationship with someone when you are back to back with one another? What does that mean? Distant. What's that? Adam and Chava were created back to back, that's right. But what does that mean as far as the relationship? Two different directions, yeah. You only know how they're affecting you. Okay. Yeah. So the way that the mystics explain this idea of back to back is that you can be very, very, very in close proximity to someone, but feel so far away from them. Has anybody felt that they are so close physically to someone, but you've never been farther away from this person? There's a relationship. You're connected, right? Back to back. There is a connection, there's a relationship. But the entire relationship is one of giving to each other because I have to. Everything that we do for each other is done without any passion, without any excitement. It's cool, it's dry, it's very robotic. That's called being in a relationship back to back. I do it because I have to. What does it mean to be face to face with someone? Face to face means to be in a relationship where I am giving to the other person not because I have to, but because I want to. Because it's really coming from a deep place of love and caring for the other person. It's coming from my pnimis. The word pnim in Hebrew is the same word from the word pnimi, which means internal, inside. Really, it's my true feeling. I'm doing it with my heart and with my soul and with my entire being. I'm sure everybody has felt that at least one time or more in their lives. Maybe for a spouse, maybe for a child, maybe for a friend. But where you gave them so wholeheartedly, you gave so much of yourself, not because you had, because you really genuinely, authentically did it with passion, with excitement, with fire, with energy. That's called being in a relationship face to face, where we're giving to each other, not because we have to. I'm not doing you a favor. I'm doing it because I really, really want to give you. I'm sure everybody has walked down the street before and they see somebody kind of asking for some money, some charity. And for whatever reason, we, open up our pockets, we open up our wallets, our purses, and we give them the money. But sometimes there's the feeling that I don't really want to give them. Maybe I just want to quiet my conscience. Maybe I don't feel good just walking over them and pretending that they don't exist. So here, take a shekel. Here, take a dollar, whatever. But it's not really coming from the deepest depths of my heart. You guys know that feeling? Yeah. I do it because I have to. That's how the Zohar says that it's as if you're throwing it over your back. You're like giving it. You're like, here, get out of just here. Just take it and get out of my face. Like I don't even want to see it. Like I really wish that person was not here right now. It would be better if they were not here on the sidewalk. It would make me feel so much better. But they are, and I'm not, I'm not inhumane. So give them, fine. Here's a dollar. But I'm not really, really good. That's called being back to back. Whereas being face to face, funny, is where you really give wholehearted, genuine respect. So what does that mean in our relationship with Hashem? Alter Rebbe says that the Tshuva that we should be doing on Yom Kippur is saying, Hashem, how could I have done your mitzvahs without any excitement, without any passion, without any fire, robotic, cold, and dry? The Alter Rebbe says that the Tshuva that we're doing is not about people who did a favor. The Tshuva of Yom Kippur is people that were doing everything that they were supposed to be doing. They checked off every single box according to halacha, according to Shul Paru. And when they go, after 120 years, when they get to Shemayim, they will get their garden. No doubt. But nonetheless, on all of those mitzvahs that we've done, we have to do tshuva. Because maybe, just maybe, I did it just because, you know what, I don't have time. I don't have the patience. Let's just get it over with. Zip through my Birkat HaMazon, zip through my prayer. The Alter Rebbe says that's not the place. We want to be in place, kind of like Zusha. I mean, not to the place, put you in a straight job, but like, at least to mamish feel that I'm doing it with all of my heart, with all this. Now, many of you probably already feel like that, which is amazing. L'chaim. However, for the rest of us mere mortals, that do not necessarily always feel that I'm so emotionally invested in the mitzvahs that I do. That's the tshuva that we should be doing on Yom Kippur. Question is, how do we do that? So in order to be able to do that, we have to play a song. We have to play a song. We have to play a song. If a Jew only knew what a Jew could really do. If a Jew only knew what a Jew could do. If a Jew only knew what a Jew could really do. If a Jew only knew what a Jew could do. What did he do? He would jump up and down, jump up and down with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. He would jump up and down, jump up and down with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. All right, from the top. If but you only knew what you really do. If but you only knew what you do. If but you only knew what you really do. If but you only knew what you do. They would jump up and down, jump up and down with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. They would jump up and down, jump up and down with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. They would jump up and down, jump up and down with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. They would jump up and jump up, yeah, with joy. Jump up and down with joy all day, all night long. So, time, yes. Yeah. Oh, explain it to me, because maybe in the song? In the song? I'm sorry. Please elaborate. I mean, right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right. That's exactly. Very famous saying of the Alter Rebbe, I don't want your Gan Eden. I don't want your Olam Haba. I just want. That would take, you could probably meditate just on that one line. To help you internalize that, there's a very famous story that the Alter Rebbe said. It's a fantastic story. Litvaks hate this story. So if anybody here is Litvishly inclined, go make yourself a copy. Right? Start even worse. Yeah. No. The Alter Rebbe said that one day there was a discussion in Shamayim. In the heavenly courts, there was a discussion at a town hall meeting, and one of the issues on the agenda, was what to do about Gehenna. Gehenna, hail, is in terrible, terrible shape, they said. Here's the map. Nice Jewish neighborhood, Gehenna. Hell, Gehenna is in very, very bad shape. Look, the fire has been burning in Gehenna for so long. It's in bad shape. It's in dire need of renovation. So they propose that we, throw away Gehenna and we build a new Gehenna. Yeah, with fire spigots, with sensors. And as soon as somebody comes in, very high tech, right? I get Elon Musk to engineer the place, sense exactly the right temperature that fire needs to be. So let's build a new Gehenna. But then there was another area, another opinion that said, no. We have a much, much better idea. Much better. Let's take Gan Eden, Garden of Eden, Gan Eden, much better condition, paradise. We'll take paradise. We'll just change the name on the door. We'll take off the name that says Gan Eden, and we'll take the Gehenom, and we'll say, this is Gehenom. Right? It's already in better shape. Why allocate new funds to build something? We already have something that's functional. Right? So having to renovate, we'll take Gan Eden, change the name of the door, put the name Gehenom. And then they said, well, we still need a Gan Eden. They say, so let's build a new Gan Eden. New Gan. New Gan. The Alter Rebbe says the entire purpose, the soul of the Baal Shem Tov came into this world, was to teach us about this new Gan. New Gan. What does it mean? So the Alter Rebbe says, God-fearing Jews, they do everything that they're supposed to. They're checking off those boxes every day. Right? They do negel vaser, they wash their hands, they say morning brachas, they daven, learn Torah, they keep Shabbat, they eat kosher, do everything. But there's no geschmack. There's geschmack. There's no fire. There's no enjoyment. There's no joy. There's no excitement and passion and fire when they do what they do. So the Alter Rebbe says, people like this, that they learn Torah very robotically, very coldly. Their Shabbat was very, they asked somebody, how was Shabbat? It was nice. It was a nice Shabbat. Shabbos, Yibam, Shabbos. How could Shabbos be nice? All of the lower worlds are elevating to the highest levels of Zer Anpi. We're speaking Atika Kadisha at the highest level of the Ketzer. Ein Sof, fulfilling all of the superlative Sephiros, and all of your Nefesh, Ruach, Neshama, Chayim, Yichida are completely unified with the infinite light of God. It was nice. Kuka was a little. Alter Rebbe says this person, after 120 years, when their soul leaves this world and they go up to the supernal realms, they are going to get Gan Eden, make no doubt about it. They checked off all those boxes. They did everything that they were supposed to do according to the letter of the law.
It was nice.
It was nice. It was nice. I enjoyed. I learned some Torah. I did some mitzvahs. I guess some stuff. It was great. After 120 years, they're going to heaven. They're going to get Gan Eden. Alter Rebbe says what they don't realize is that the Gan Eden that they're going to is Gehenna. Is Gehenna. What does it mean that the Gan Eden that they're going to is Gehenna? Beautiful place. No fire. No brimstone. Paradise. Paradise. Why is it Gehenna then? What? It's boring. Okay. It's fine. Right? What? It's nice. It's nice. Food is good, right? Everything is nice, right? Imagine 5-star luxury, Club Med spa somewhere in the beautiful, Caribbean islands. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. Everything glad kosher. Glad kosher. Glad kosher. Everything, right? Complete separate city. Everything is mamish al taharas hakodesh. But it's Gehenna. It's Gehenna. Why is it Gehenna? So the Alter Rebbe says like this. You know what you have in Gan Eden? There's no food. I'm sorry, I hate to break it. There's not going to be any kugel. There's not going to be any, lox, and even maybe in your wildest dreams, even Sephardi, you still won't be able to eat lox and drink. Sorry. I'm sorry. We were hoping. This Rat Hashem. You're going to sneak in from the Sephardi Gan Eden into the Hasidic Gan Eden. It's still, there's no food. There's no beach. There's no white sandy beach. It's not that type of paradise. is there in Gan Eden. It is a state where the neshama, the soul, is blissing out on the light of Hashem, the light of God. The Gemara says, "Tzadikim yoshvim atotehem beroshehem," with their crowns. The tzadikim are sitting in Gan Eden. The crowns are on their head. Unehenim miziv hashchina. They are enjoying the ziv of the Shekhinah. What is the ziv of the Shekhinah? It's not a 3-star hospital that if you're lucky, you'll be able to get out of there alive. That's not. What does ziv mean in? Watch out, be careful. What does ziv mean in Hebrew? Ziv is a radiant, a ray of light. Ziv is a ray of light. So what's happening in Gan Eden? It's a place where you get to bliss out on God's light. Amazing. And every level that you go up to, more and more and more blissing out on God's light. Along comes the Alter Rebbe and explains that this is Gehenna. This is the ultimate. Why? Alter Rebbe says, I don't want to bliss out on God's light. I don't want to experience just God's goodness. I want God himself. I want God himself. I don't want God's light. I don't want God's goodness. I want God himself. And there is only one place and one place alone where one can experience God's light.
Nothing to happen.
You know where that is? Somebody was paying attention. Somebody was taking notes. The only place, everything, this is the physical dimension, all the spiritual worlds that exist beyond this world. What's up there? God's light. God's light. There's only one place where we can experience God himself. You know where that is? Right here in this world. You know how? It's called Torah. God has put his infinite essence into the Torah. Is that when a Jew opens up a book and starts to learn Torah, whether it's Chumash or Tehillim or Mishnah, Gemara, Halacha, whatever it is, learning the laws of lighting the Shabbos candles, whatever it is, that is the divine wisdom of the king. When you're learning that, you are not connected to God's light. You're connected to God himself. What's that? Also the mitzvot, but more so the Torah, because the Torah is with the mind. Mitzvahs are more with the body. Physical body needs to embody the mitzvah. You need to physically do the mitzvah. But the Torah is the wisdom of God. And the wisdom of the Creator, it's as if Hashem gave us the ability to understand God's mind. The Torah says, Lo machshavotai machshavotechem. My thoughts are not your thoughts, right? My thoughts are not your thoughts, which seemingly means to say, you cannot possibly understand my thoughts. Machshavotai, lo machshavotai machshavotechem. My thoughts are not your thoughts, which means God is totally beyond us, the infinite mind of the Creator. How could a puny mortal mind like me connect to Hashem? However, comes the Baal Shem Tov and says, you're not reading it. Lo machshavotai machshavotechem. When are my thoughts not your thoughts? When they're your thoughts. When they're your thoughts. Oh, when your thoughts, my thoughts, then my thoughts are. Which means as long as we are thinking about whatever it is that we want to think about, there's a separation. But when a Jew immerses their mind in God's thoughts, in the Torah, which is the infinite wisdom of Hashem, total unification. Alter Rebbe says that is the new Gan Eden. And that new Gan Eden is not that. It's not a. It's right. It's right. It says when a Jew thinks about this, meditate, deeply meditate. This is not something that you can just kind of say, wow, it was nice. How was the class? It was nice. He played some songs, he told some jokes, it was nice. When you meditate, deeply meditate on the fact that you have been given this ability to access the infinite essence of the Creator, whenever you want, wherever you are, give up. Give up. That is the inheritance that every single one of us has inherited in Mount Sinai. Now one might say, oh, but I don't feel it. Oh, I don't. What does David HaMelech say? Ve'ani bar velo eda behemot ayiti imach. Let's look from Tehillim. Where's the Tehillim masters here? No? Ani bar velo eda. What's a bar? Bar. A bar is like an ignoramus. It's like a person that does not have knowledge. Ani bar velo eda. I don't know. And I don't know. Behemot ayiti imach. David HaMelech says, I'm like an animal when it comes to you. What does it mean like I'm an animal that comes to you? Anybody, when you look at the moon, how awe-inspiring is it when you look at the moon? Beautiful, right? Amazing, right? You start to think, wow, it's one of many stars in the constellations and such galaxies and such crazy space in the universe.
The tree you're not supposed to stare at it, so you don't go crazy.
Yeah. For all intents and purposes, you can go crazy over Hashem because you're looking and you're admiring, you're saying, wow, this is crazy. Look at the expansiveness of the universe. And this is just even one level of the Asiya Gashmi. Think of all the other infinite levels beyond this level. Wow. Right? But if you take a cat, okay, when the cat looks at the moon, what is the cat thinking? What does the cat think about when he thinks about when he's looking at the moon? What? Dr. Doolittle told me, okay? Shlomo Melech, okay, the first Dr. Doolittle, by the way, all right? The cat does not understand what is going on in the galaxies and the solar systems and the universe, right? He doesn't care. He doesn't have the capacity, the mind to understand. So David HaMelech says, Behemot ayiti imach. Behemot, it's not a cat, right? Like a cow. Cow, like grazing in the grass. What does the cow know? Doesn't know anything. Looks at the grass. Behemot ayiti imach. David HaMelech says, I was like an animal. How could I possibly know you? But David HaMelech continues and says, Va'ani tamid imach. Even though I am an animal and I have no comprehension of you whatsoever, I'm still with you. I'm still with you, meaning that it doesn't matter what level I'm looking at, is that I can actually be with Hashem. I can connect to Hashem in the deepest, most intimate way whenever I'm. That's through learning. That's the tshuva. When a person thinks about it, deeply meditates on it, it will stoke this fire inside. It will awaken this passion, this desire, this craving to not want to connect to anything else in the world, only want to connect to Hashem. That doesn't mean, of course, that you're going to completely disconnect from the world. It's the opposite. When a person thinks, well, all I want to do is learn Torah, all I want to do is mitzvahs, all I want to do is connect to God, then you ask, how can I connect to God? So you start looking in the Torah. The Torah says 650 ways to connect to God. One of them is called Birkat HaMazon. And you say, wow, how do I connect to God through Birkat HaMazon? Well, you got to have a bagel. You got to have a sandwich. You got to have some food. Oh, I have to have some food to connect to God? Bring on the bagel. Hopefully it's got some good schmear to it. But when a Jew starts to think, how can I connect to Hashem, the Torah itself, built into the Torah, is getting you to engage in the physical world. How many laws of the Torah have to deal with money, to deal with people, to deal with, economics and social justice and everything in the physical world. So when a person meditates on how they have this gift, they don't want anything else in the world. Just like the author of, I don't want connected. I don't want to bliss out on your life. I'm sure it's beautiful. I'm sure it's wonderful. Spiritual club med, great. I don't want that. That's like chump change. I want you. I want essence. I don't want just your goodness. I want you. That can only be attained here in this world. The Jew learns Torah. The Jew does mitzvahs. When a Jew does acts of chesed, of kindness, which makes life very, very, very exciting. It makes it very, very, very engaging. Wake up in the morning and say, wow, I'm living in Gan Eden right now. This is it. Now a person might say, wait a second, but just like David Melch says, I don't feel it. Remember we talked about the feeling? Who remembers about the feeling? Don't let the feeling get you. Don't let the feeling get you. Hasidic masters say, you know why you can't feel the essence of God? Because currently, why we can't feel the essence of God? Because the physical world that we live in does not have the capacity to actually experience the essence of God. It's like a dog whistle, where it's like you can blow, but the frequency, you just can't hear it. You don't hear it. But you're still blowing it. It's still calling the dog, right? It's still being, the sound is still being made. You just don't have the frequency to be able to hear it. So when we learn Torah, we do mitzvahs, the neshama is connected to Hashem, essence of God. I don't feel it, but that's okay. Because I know the fact that right now I'm in the deepest connection with Hashem. Wow, that itself will put you on fire. L'chaim, chevra. Wrote a song about it. Oh, like to hear it? Don't want your riches, fancy car. Don't wanna be famous. Don't need to be a star. Don't want your hair, not even your life. You can keep your kingdom come and all your eternity life. Give me your Torah, the mitzvah to do. I don't want anything, just want you. Just give me your Torah, mitzvah to do. I don't want anything, just want you. Just want you. All I want is you. Don't want your riches, no, fancy cars. Want to be famous, don't need to be a star. Don't want your heaven, no, not even your life. You can keep your kingdom come and all your eternal delight. It's up to you. 'Cause I don't want anything, just want you. Give me a Torah. 'Cause I don't want anything. 'Cause I don't want anything. 'Cause I don't want anything. This world, I don't want anything. I don't want anything. Just want you. Just want you. All I want is you. Just want you. I'm right. You guys ready for Yom Kippur now? ReStarTzfat, my friends. You guys should have an incredible Yom Kippur. Don't mind all the confessions and Ashavnu and Bagatnu and reverse and forwards, Ada to Aleph to top and top to Aleph. Those are things we should have a class just for those things. But really, the essence of Yom Kippur, God, Mamish is crazy about you. God believes in you, believe in yourself. This year will be the greatest year of your life. ReStarTzfat, not only for you, for your families, for all of Am Yisrael, for the world, and for God Himself. All the best.